Question everything, for the truth should not be televised. And that's for sure. So with that, I just dropped a video about poverty and crime. I just want to also state, I don't speak on poverty and crime on a level of not being tied to it, not being a part of that experience in my life, not understanding the real ramifications of growing up as a child, teenager, young adult to adult, and what me and my whole community live like, what we had to survive, what we was tied to growing up, and what that meant for us when it came to us living this life. An impoverished state of being with no reality of success or opportunity in sight leads you to a bleak reality. And that reality wasn't so in your face or so, what's the word I'm looking for, immediate, until really crack cocaine hit us. And notice the words, hit us, because it was a time it wasn't no crack cocaine. And being a young person, a boy, growing up and seeing crack cocaine come to the community and how it devastated our community and all our little businesses and journeymen and so on, the way the adults fell to that was unbelievable. It was mind-boggling. It was life-changing 100% for a lot of us. And in that, you still had to survive. Regardless if your mother was on crack, regardless if your father was on crack, you still had to survive. And that's the reality to it. And in that, being devastated already, growing up impoverished, to have that happen and bring more chaos and more poverty to you, what you going to do? What you going to do? Especially when you're going out every single day as a youth with nothing to eat. What's that reality for you? Many of us were struggling real bad. Many of us were struggling to a point where we didn't have no understanding of what to do, no guidance on top of it. And in that reality, you still have to survive. In that reality, you still have to do something. And they wasn't pushing for us to get jobs. What do you mean? Well, to get a job, somebody got to hire you. You can put out 1 million applications, but if nobody hire you, then how the fuck do you get a job? Let's just be real. Let's just be real. When you go from one project to the next, one street to the next, and you hear, man, I can't get a job. Man, I can't get a job. Man, I can't get a job. How many fucking times do you gotta hear that before you start saying to yourself, man, I still gotta eat. I still gotta survive. It ain't that you don't want to work. You're going to people that blackfaced you that don't want to hire you, and they don't want to say that. Yeah, you got to say allegedly, but it ain't no allegedly when we lived it. When we lived it. And then y'all turn around and then pretend that y'all don't know what's going on in our communities. We ain't getting bank loans. Remember, we went through the red line and it's still quiet as kept. It's still there. Same thing with Jim Crow laws. Y'all can pretend that they ain't there, but they still there. Because you can see how we being treated by the police still to this day. Not to mention bad boys, what you gonna do? And then they come through, what do they do? What do they do? Drop that on the floor on you and be like, oh, what's that? What's that? Then everybody in handcuffs. Then everybody in handcuffs going down to get felonies so they can do background checks on you and continuously to stop you from getting jobs, stop you from getting careers, making you jump through fire loops in order to feed yourself. But we don't want to talk about this real, nor do they want you to talk about this real. You got to use allegedly, even though you lived it. Go figure, right? Well, this is where we stand. This is that reality. This is how a lot of us ended up in the boat that we in because of poverty and asking the same people that don't want to deal with us, can we get a job? Can I get a job? Can I get a job? Putting in applications everywhere. You drive from New York to Florida and go to the ghetto, the same thing, man. I put in mad applications. I still haven't got a job yet. Go from Florida to Chicago, same thing. I put in mad applications, still can't get a job yet. Yeah, but they got to let some of us in, right? Because if they don't let some of us in, then the majority of us, they can't bar. But if you let some of them in, then you market some of them doing well, then the rest of them we can mass incarcerate. The rest of them we can keep on street corners. The rest of them we can keep them locked out of society. As long as we market the ones that we let into society. So what is 1 to 10% of us if the rest of us, 80 to 85% of us, can't get inside, can't get the job, can't get the bank loan, can't get the grant, can't get life started? How did that work? Well, we done settled for the 1 to 10%, hun, and blame everybody else, hun, the rest of the whole body of our nation. Instead of blaming the fact that we haven't been liberated yet and the fact that we still under our oppressors. But those rich people out there that went through this type of stuff, they wouldn't go for that. They wanted their own land. They wanted to be separated. And they wanted reparations for all that was done to them. And they still hold to it to this day. To where you can't even say nothing, because if you say something, then you what? You anti, right? No doubt. But us, we get peed on. That's what happens. We get peed on by every motherfucking nation that come here, look down to us, even though we out protesting, boycotting to help them get in. How do that work? Well, until we deal with poverty, how we gonna deal with crime? That's just what it is. Until we let the nation of people that y'all don't want in society to get into society just like everybody else, then how do we stop crime? Because still got to eat. This is just that reality. And then we can deal with everybody else. We can deal with everybody else self-medicating. We can deal with everybody that got mental health issues. We can deal with everybody else that still fall in that category. But the majority of them that's standing out there, them young teenagers, them young adults, them young men, they want jobs, they want careers, they want businesses of their own. But if you got to go and beg of people that openly put out hatred towards you for years, hundreds of years, then how you going to do that? How you going to do that if you got to go to a system that's the economic movement and the economic power is under the people that don't like you? How you going to do that? Yeah, exactly. And all you appointed representatives that look like me, y'all know this. Y'all know this. But y'all don't want to talk about it, huh? Because y'all too busy living your legacy and living your life because y'all the 1 to 10% that they let in. Yeah, okay. Well, that's what it is. That's what it is. Until we change poverty, we can't change what's going on in the community of people doing survival work, trying to survive. So if they downtown and you see them and they hungry, then guess what? When a wolf hungry and he see a sheep, guess what he gonna do? Well, you better be aware of it because that's the reality of where we stand. And it ain't nice, it ain't pretty, and it ain't right. Because if you can't get justice for the crimes against humanity that have been done to you, then how do you claim crime when the crime that been done to them ain't been judged yet? Haven't been resolved yet? Haven't been changed to help them yet? Then you running around here talking about, oh, it's crime. Oh, it's crime. But you inherited generational wealth from crime, from slavery, from Jim Crow laws, from KKK, from race riots. Come on, man. Stop playing us, man. This is ridiculous. Deal with the poverty by giving us reparations. Deal with the poverty by giving us real opportunity instead of all this redlining and all this turncoat BS that we under. Then we can do something. We can change something. Give us what y'all giving the immigrants coming in right now. We can do something. We can change something. But until then, I just don't get you. I just don't understand you. But that is the question. You let me know. Peace, peace.